Hey guys, my name is Anthony, and in today's video I'm going to be talking over an open lobby battle that we had during a 25% live stream race. So if you want to get yourself involved or you want to catch these live streams live, then make sure to go to the link in the description and follow me on Twitch. And also, if you do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like at any given point of the video. So as you can see, the guy ahead, he jumps the start. Obviously he gets a drive-through penalty as I've got the rules on pretty much normal, except we've not got any damage on, just to keep things fun and fair. And yeah, we started with a random grid this time. Usually I'll start with one shot qualifying. The reason why I do that is just in case people want to start towards the front, then they can set a lap, whereas people who don't want to set a lap, they can start towards the back if they want to. And usually when it comes to these, I tend to start towards the back because it makes things more interesting. But this time I had it on random grid and we started in P6. So you can see we've already made up one position, and as you can see my teammate is ahead of me on the medium tires as well, and I need to get past him really, because you always want to be the first car out of you and your teammate, because that gives you the option to pit whenever you want and you don't need to do whatever they don't do. So that's why I needed to get past him as soon as possible. So we made the moves and now we're in P4. So we've already made 2 positions this lap, and at this point you can see that the guy ahead of me, Broken, he's actually on the soft compound of tires. So as long as JML, I think that's JML, I think that's what his name is, I can't really see on my Sony Vegas preview, but as long as he can keep Broken behind him, then that's going to benefit me more and more as time goes on, because obviously the softs are a lot quicker than the mediums at the start, but they go off relatively quickly. And in 25% races you always want to be on the quicker compound of tire towards the end of the race. And as you can see, there's a 3-man battle actually going on ahead of us, and at this point I actually saw an opportunity to try and get past Broken, because I want to be ahead of all the soft tire runners. Because I mean, if you're on the mediums ahead of the soft compound of runner, then obviously it's going to be a huge advantage to you. So we actually make the move going into the bus stop chicane, passing the both of them. However, again, since they're on the softs, the traction that they're going to get is a lot better than ours. So he ends up overtaking us again naturally, as he would on the soft compound of tire. But now we're actually the lead runner on the mediums. So that's a big advantage to us, because the 2 guys ahead are on the soft compounds, and if we can stick with them, especially going into lap 3, then obviously that's going to benefit us greatly, because we're going to be able to have similar pace to them. So yeah, you can see I'm using my, I was using my overtake just to try and maybe have a little look going into this little chicane section here, but we decided to think better of it. Again, he's on the soft compound, so if we can stay with him, then it's going to benefit us a lot. And as you can see, he's already got a penalty as well. So not only do the guys ahead of us both have a soft compound tire, but they've also got a penalty, as we actually stick to the apex there to try and actually get the move, but we didn't end up doing it. Once again, soft compounds. It really is difficult when you're on the mediums at the start of a race. As we actually go down the inside of the Haas there was a little bit of a battle going on between those two, and we actually take advantage of that. But again, when it comes to the soft compounds, they're so quick at the start, you might as well just stay behind the person on the soft tire, because if you can stick with them, then that will actually benefit you more than if you were to pass them. Because honestly, they're going to be dragging you along, and the people behind you, as you can already see, Chrisman is over a second. So we've actually lost the DRS already to the people behind us, and that's the benefits that you get from staying behind someone who is on the soft compound of tire, especially if you can stick with them, because they're just going to drag you along, and it's going to be so easy to lose the DRS of the people behind you. But he doesn't actually get the best entry going into the bus stop chicane. However, we don't get the best exit, so it's not like we can really make the move happen. And there's no real point of making the move at this point, because DRS is literally right there. We might as well just stick in the DRS, because it's going to benefit us more than it would if we tried to push along. However, I decided to try it and push along for this occasion, and the reason why I actually tried to overtake him here is because Chrisman is back inside of our DRS, and I don't want him to overtake me because I'm behind Broken. So I tried to actually separate me and Chrisman by having a car behind, or a car in between us I should say, to really help with keeping him behind me, because you don't want to have someone be the lead runner on the mediums, because that means you're going to have to focus on battling them rather than focusing on actually, you know, driving, especially towards the end of the race. But moving on to lap 5, This is when I decide to go into the pits. Now you may be wondering, hold on, Broken's also going into the pits. Why are you pitting the same time as the guy on the soft tyres? Well, it's pretty simple. The reason why is because the softs can last the next 5 laps, as we're obviously pitting on the end of lap 5. So we've got laps 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So for those laps, the softs will obviously last until the end, as it's only a 25% race, and this is going to benefit me a lot because obviously I'm going to be quicker than Broken now, which means that all I need to do is worry about Chrisman, who has literally just overtaken us, and that's literally it. And you can see he's got a 3-second time penalty as well. So literally right now we are in net P1. As long as we can keep it clean and not get any penalties, we're pretty much guaranteed to win this race at this point, because Chrisman, he's got a penalty, Broken, he's got a penalty, and Broken is also on the medium tyres. So as we come up to the end of sector 1 now, it's really just a case of just trying to stick behind Chrisman, who is obviously going to want to overtake Broken as soon as he can, to basically do what I did a couple of laps ago and have a car in between me and him, just so that there is a benefit for him, because he's on a soft compound of tyres, which means if he can get past Broken, he can try and break DRS, and if I can't overtake Broken by the time he's gotten out the DRS, then there's a very high chance that he could actually pull a 3-second gap and actually get outside of that penalty range and end up winning this race. So as long as he's behind Broken, then I'm okay, but as soon as he overtakes Broken, that's when I really need to start pushing and think about making an overtake on Broken. Which is exactly what ends up happening as we move on to lap 8. And as you can see, Chrisman ended up getting past Broken, and now we're stuck behind Broken. So this is a big advantage for Chrisman, because even if we get past Broken, if we're still battling within the DRS, that gives him the opportunity, if he's broken the DRS, to get even further ahead and actually break that 3-second gap, so that the 3-second time penalty won't actually mean anything. So at this point, coming up to the bus stop chicane, this is literally now or never. I have to pass Broken here, and I have to make the move stick. So that's exactly what we do. Go down the inside of the bus stop chicane and we make the move stick, and even just being behind Broken for that little bit of time, we're already outside of the DRS to Chrisman. We luckily got it on JML, but JML's not here, he's disconnected or he left, I can't remember which one. So obviously being that far behind Chrisman, as soon as we do get past JML, who is gonna be slower because he's disconnected, you know, we still could be outside of that DRS, but luckily, you know, JML is still here on track technically. Obviously his AI is driving, so we're still getting DRS from that, so that's really benefiting us. But usually in that situation, Chrisman would have had a big advantage being outside of the DRS, and we would have needed to use a lot of our ERS in order to get back inside of the DRS to Chrisman, to really be able to stick with him whilst he's pushing to get outside of that 3-second gap. As you can see now, we've come up to JML's Ghost, and this is going to be obviously easy. You're just going to drive through him as you would. But yeah, pretty much we're sort of keeping up with Chrisman in terms of the DRS zone, but we don't exactly get the best run through Puon there, which means we lose a couple of temps, so we're back outside of the DRS, which isn't going to benefit us over the next couple of laps. I mean, I don't think at this point, unless we make a huge mistake, or if we have quite a big battle with Broken and I believe it's TRT Ruben, I believe that's behind him, who's also on the soft compound of tyre, which is someone else I have to watch out for. Unless we have a big battle with them, I don't really see us losing 2 seconds to Chrisman over the next 2 laps, which means we will win at this current position. But as you can see, Broken is now in our DRS and he's dragging along Ruben, so I don't really have a lot of ERS to play with. So that means that we're going to have to try and use our ERS either now, or we're going to have to try and use it sparingly over the next couple of laps, because if we get into that battle with those two, we can lose a lot of time to Chrisman, and it's very easy to lose, you know, 5 tenths to even a second per lap to someone who's in clean air, not battling anyone, whilst you're battling not just one, but potentially 2 different cars. So yeah, as we come up to the long back straight in sector 1 now, you can see we're 6 tenths ahead of Broken, and we've still got, well actually we don't actually have any ERS to play with, because I tried to use it all to get into the DRS of Chrisman, just in case that the 2 behind me do end up trying to battle. At least we can bring back Chrisman into this fight instead of having him just drive away. But we didn't get DRS, which meant that we pretty much wasted our ERS for no reason. So as long as we're outside of the DRS of Chrisman, this is going to be quite bad, especially going into lap 11, where they're going to have a very good run on me if they can stay within my DRS, which they're pretty much going to do because, again, we don't really have any ERS. So yeah, as we move on to the long straight in Sector 1 for lap 11, you can see we're not inside of the DRS of Chrisman, we're actually 1.1 seconds behind him, and we've actually got no ERS to defend with. So at this point, what I decided to do is let Broken past us, but then just slip in behind Broken so that Ruben doesn't get past us, because you can see that Ruben is the only person in the top 4 other than myself that doesn't have a penalty. So really and truly, I'm actually fighting for P1 with Ruben and not Chrisman and Broken. So if I let those two go ahead and keep Ruben behind me, then that's going to benefit me a lot, because obviously I'm still going to be in P1 come the end of the race once the penalties have been given. But I don't know what actually happened to Ruben. I don't know if I tapped him or if he spun. I haven't really checked the footage yet to actually see if I hit him. So if I did, then obviously that's pretty much the same. I do apologize for that. But yeah, you can see he's now 5 seconds behind. So at this point, I've practically won this race. You know, there's no way that I'm going to lose 2 seconds to Chrisman, let alone Broken. So at this point, I've won. I don't know what happened with Ruben. I don't know if he spun on his own or if I maybe tapped him and spun him off. Which, if I did, then that's a shame, because obviously it would have been a nice to battle with him at the end of the race to really see who could end up winning. But sadly, that wasn't meant to be. I'm going to end up winning this race, which was a pretty good battle. You know, for open lobbies, you usually don't see open lobbies be as clean as this, especially if you watch my open lobbies. They're usually just absolute chaos most of the time. So yeah, that's the reason why I wanted to showcase this one, because it was actually a pretty nice battle between me, Chrisman, Broken, and Ruben towards the end of the race. So I hope you do enjoy this video. If you did, then feel free to hit the like button and let me know in the comment section if you want to see more stream highlights from me going forward, and I'll try to get more videos like this out in the future. But yeah, make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and I hope to see you guys soon in my next video.